Looking to enhance the appeal and performance of your gym with state-of-the-art equipment? Look no further than the Gym Administrator. Founded by Sal Corrente, professional wrestling manager, promoter, and author of the great book Bruno Sammartino, the autobiography of wrestling's living legend, available on Amazon.com, the Gym Administrator will spot you on that final rep and assist you every step of the way from purchase through installation, whether it be strength training, cardiovascular training, or performance enhancement. The Gym Administrator works with a wide array of leading vendors and suppliers, carefully selected to meet the diverse needs of your clientele. Service the way you remember it. Contact us at 914-494-1066 or visit our website at thegymadministrator.com, as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator. All your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
And it's funny, every week when we're on ESPN here in Northwest Florida, 104.3, we always point out, Coach, who hosts the show, Afternoon Underdogs, he always asks for predictions. Mike loves predictions, loves it. I call it observations because I don't want to make a prediction on a scripted event. It's a scripted event.
Right.
I refuse. I won't do it. It's bad enough I'm a Jet fan, right? First show we talked about all the New York sports misery. Let me just watch my wrestling. These are my observations. If they're wrong, so may it be. That's where I'm at with that.
Well, we're speaking of that, we're almost at halftime. The Texans are ahead of the Jets, but only by 7-0. Pretty close game.
So the defense is on, and the offense is sputtering.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I would have guessed at least 21-0 by halftime, but all right.
Well, let's not forget Zach Wilson beat Stroud last year.
Right.
By the way.
We'll see. Maybe there's a little fight left in him, but
maybe Mike is good juju.
That could be. As opposed to me, who he said, once I predicted the Yankees would win the series, he called it he said you sprinkled the Benny goo. So the reason why the Yankees lost in 5 was because of the Benny goo, I guess. But let me
Nah, you had nothing to do with the fact that Aaron Judge can't catch a ball hit directly at him. That ain't your fault.
Here we go. Let me go backwards here.
Sorry, folks. What's this?
All right.
This the big ladies tag match there, Benny?
Yeah, this is we got Crown Jewel on Saturday, right?
Right.
And
Saudi
pretty
Arabian
decent card. So this one is
no, it is.
You got Bianca Belair and Cargill versus Damage Control versus Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and then whoever the hell Metaphor is. You know what Metaphor is? I mean, what did Jack Nicholson say in
no, I'd probably say no.
People who speak in mixed metaphors ought to shampoo my crotch.
Oh yeah, that goes over today.
The great Melvin Udall, as good as it gets. But I believe this is a title match.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to do predictions. The one thing I want to say though is that
why don't you ask me if I care about this match?
I don't. I mean I won't ask you because I know the answer. The only observation I wanted to bring up on this one is I gotta believe that Belair and Cargill is a WrestleMania match. Right. And so I don't know if one of them's gonna turn on the other one. I don't know if it's gonna be here or maybe they lose the championship and one blames the other, but yeah.
Well, this is like when they lost it the other time. It was a multiple tag team situation, so they didn't lose it. Well, you know what I'm getting at. Someone else could get the belts during this match, and neither one of them had to get beaten.
They don't have to take a pin,
right?
But I got to ask you, Jimmy. I am not. I mean, from a physical standpoint, I'm very impressed by Jade Cargill.
Yes,
but from a wrestling standpoint, I'm not at all.
I think they just got to sharpen up her basics. I would say be patient.
Well, I think that's why she's been paired with Belair as a tag team.
Yeah, but they're supposed to complement each other, and obviously Jade is still working on that. I think if I was a trainer, I would probably take the Triple H approach with her because she's powerful. Look, Triple H never overdid in the ring what he was physically capable of, and he was built like a brick shithouse, and he wrestled efficiently in that role.
Yeah,
I think Jade, being that powerful, I would take a Triple H approach with her. Let her be brutal, but let her be safe with the way she works. She doesn't have to do fancy shit.
no high spots, right?
Yeah, when she's in the ring, let her be a powerhouse. She's really, really powerful. You know, silent but deadly.
Yeah, I mean,
This is how I would train her or want her to be presented as, because that's what she is. She's powerful. She's not a Bret Hart. I don't need her trying to do Sasha Banks high spots. I don't
well,
need any
shit.
of that
I
from
mean,
her.
Billy Graham was not Billy Robinson. Billy Graham really couldn't wrestle, but I mean,
Right.
he had that aura
Understood.
and he had that physique,
And he could tell a story.
right? And
Yep.
he's so well.
He was probably the greatest seller in the history of the business, or one of
Right.
them. Mike and I talk about him all the time, the way Superstar Graham sold. No one sold like Superstar Graham. He was fantastic. Real fast, read me the other three teams they're facing.
You got Damage Control. You got Io Sky and
Yeah,
Kairi Sane.
gotcha.
And then you've got Chelsea Green, Piper Niven.
Okay.
And you got Metaphor. And don't ask me who's in Metaphor. I couldn't even tell you.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the one at the bottom, I think her name is Lush. She's new, so forgive me, folks. I should know more about it.
Yes.
I think she's fantastic, bro. I don't think she's good. I think she's very good in the ring.
They're in NXT, right? I think.
Yes,
right now?
yes. And her partner is an arrogant little bitch as far as what her role is. She's good at it. Now, if anyone's going to walk out of there, if there's going to be a title change, I would pick them. Do I think there's going to be one? I don't know. Or WrestleMania is still months away. This is something we want to say for WrestleMania, so I don't know. I would tend to think that they'll walk out of there with the belts, but if they don't, I would be putting it on that team.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not going to go on a limb and predict the winner. I do predict that the ladies' title will change hands. I think WWE has to throw Saudi Arabia a bone and do at least one title change.
Yeah,
and maybe one swerve.
Right.
Maybe one turn.
Right. I could see a title change happening here.
Yeah, I would think it's going to be in this match. Let me see who we got next here.
Well, who do you have winning that match then? I mean, I'm going
to predict the NXT ladies.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I love this matchup, by the way. This has done some instant things. Instantly, Bronson Reed is now taken seriously.
Right.
It started when he was splashing everybody in sight, and just typhooning everybody in sight, basically, just destroying everybody. Didn't matter who you were. He was just landing him. He's massive, and he's mean, and he's nasty. And Rollins, the moment you see him and Rollins in the brawls that have occurred already between the two, shows the greatness of Rollins. Rollins could put anybody over, and Bronson needed help being put over. He did. Let's face it. His early time in WWE has not been smooth, right, Benny?
Oh no,
it hasn't been. His size suggests that this Bronson Reed that we're seeing against this level of an opponent in Seth Rollins, it suggests this is the Bronson Reed that if he's ever going to be successful, this is the one. So this is an interesting match to me. Does Seth put him over? What do you think?
That's a tough one because
I wouldn't personally. I mean, if I'm booking it, I still have Seth winning.
Oh, well, I mean, I think Seth is moving on to CM Punk. That's where I see Seth going next.
Right. And what good would a loss to Bronson Reed do him?
Right. Yeah.
What happens
to the winner? I'm picking Seth.
What happens to Bronson Reed? Does someone interfere to start something else on a high level for Bronson? You know what I mean? There's that question. Or does this match not have a finish at all? that it's a double DQ of some kind because of the hatred level is building, and they're looking towards a longer program. That could very well be the answer.
Well, I'm thinking. I mean, what do you do with Bronson Reed? You pair him up with somebody in a tag team, or you have him chase Braun Breaker, or
that would be good. That would be good.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I mean, look, if you're going to have a guy like Bronson Reed on your roster and you're going to feature him, you do not scrub him. Either you use him,
you don't.
Either you use him right or you let him go. You know, this guy is Samoa Joe bigger. He's probably bigger, but it makes me feel like I'm watching a Samoa Joe. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's that big,
right?
He's that natural. He's that tough. You know, he does a few things even Joe can't do. You know, when he starts flipping around like that, a guy his size, I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, the death belly driver out of that truck was that was awesome.
It was awesome. No, he's excellent. He's excellent, and I love the tone of his voice. I like his speaking voice. You know, so we'll see where he goes with his promos.
He would be a guy back in the day that would. I'm wondering, would he have Albano, Blassie, or Grand Wizard as his manager?
Bronson Reed would probably be paired up with Albano.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm thinking. You know, he'd probably grunt a lot. He'd grunt a lot, and Albano would rant and rave about how he's going to destroy his opponent. He's just going to rip him from limb to limb. You know? I could see that. Bronson Reed is an old school, type wrestler. Definitely rock. He's a rock'em sock'em for sure. This is going to be a good match.
It'll be a really good match. Yeah.
It is going to be a good match.
I mean, the build up to the match, I think, has been very good.
Yep. Absolutely agree. Excellent.
All right. Oh.
Okay.
Got Nia versus Liv to the champions.
Well, logically, Nia should win.
Right, which means I think Liv's going to win. I think she will. But it's that there's going to be major shenanigans here because you're going to have Dominic. You're going to probably have who else? You might have what's her name? Raquel Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
And and then with Nia, you might have maybe Bayley trying to screw her over. And then you got Tiffany. What's Tiffany going to do?
Well, right there, I was waiting for you to name her because right there is where I'm not sure where they're at with the way the seeds are being sown. I think that eventually they want Tiffany to turn face,
right,
when she cashes in. So is this the match that Liv wears Nia down? And Nia somehow falls on top of her, and she's still in a half coma, but Liv can't kick out, and here comes Tiffany to. That doesn't seem heroic enough to me, So yeah. I'm really not. I'm really feeling logically Nia should win the match. I feel she should, but.
Well, I mean, what is
who's the bigger draw? Would you say? On a business level, who's the bigger draw?
I think
Nia Jax or Liv Morgan. I say Liv.
Yeah, Liv is, especially with everything she's got going on with Dominic and all that.
Right. Can she afford to take the loss? Because that's the only thing that's on the line here, folks. It's not like the title's on the line. The only thing that's on the line is the Crown Jewel Championship. A beautiful looking belt, right, Benny?
Oh, very, very impressive. I guess the question is, what happens with that? So, say Liv wins. What does she do with that belt? I mean, what do they have 2 PLEs in Saudi Arabia per year, right?
Yeah, and they have a long-term contract too. I think till 2030.
I mean, does she keep it and then she brings it to the next PLE and
Yeah, well, obviously, I would think so. I would think that's exactly what that's for.
Well, because Nia has the Queen of the Ring,
right,
and the World Championship, I would say that's.
Let's go with Liv. Why not?
Yeah, I would say so. As it's not going to be a clean. I mean, there's going to be plenty of shenanigans.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's see. I love this.
Yeah. He's like, what did he say when he was special refereeing their 7th match? By the way, those 2 guys together, Andrade and Mello, in the ring. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's everything that the AEW fans crave. I mean, as far as in-ring wrestling, it's a 10. It's a 10 level between Andrade and Carmelo. It's a 10 level, and they've already had 6 classics in there. Here they are having a 7th classic, and LA Knight decides, screw you both. I win game 7.
Right.
What the? Yeah. Oh God, why do I love LA Knight so much? That was such a dick. That was such a dick move, Benny.
Right. I was going to ask you that. Do you see him turning heel on this in this match?
I don't know.
You know,
I don't know because this is consistent with LA Knight has never changed. You haven't noticed?
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, he's always
dude,
been
he's never changed. Dude, he's never changed. By the way, this is just a little bit more tuned up, a little bit more because it's the WWE of Eli Drake. Yeah,
I love Eli Drake.
Okay, this guy's great. He's great. LA Knight is a great performer, is what I'm saying. He's not the greatest in-ring wrestler, but he's certainly.
But he's not bad by any means.
Here comes the word. He's serviceable. Okay,
right.
You know, and there ain't nothing wrong with being serviceable. I've seen people go to higher heights than him and be serviceable.
And he's not a kid. I think he's in his early 40s.
Right. He still plays young. He still plays young enough for me. I don't look at him and go, "Oh, I can't take this seriously." Of course I can. He's built like a brick shit house.
He is, and he can work, and he's definitely great on the mic.
He's got the crowd by the palm of his hands. He's got the crowd exactly where he wants them. He's a master at that, and you could see it in TNA. I used to talk to Mike about that. I was like, "There's this guy Eli Drake. You could see it." You could see that he had that aura. He was able to just take over whatever room you put him in. He's a great talker, and he does deliver in the ring. It's not, again, he's not Bret Hart, but he's going to walk out champion. I
was going to say, I do believe this is his niche as a mid-card champion, but he's solid. I can't imagine him losing to either of these two guys.
I'll tell you what, I agree with you, but I will defend those two guys because they're both two of the best on the
as
mat.
far as the phenomenal workers.
They are. I have tons of respect for both of them. Andrade was great back in the day. I loved Andrade and his.
I like when he was Cien, right?
Dude, I loved him. I absolutely loved him, and I'm telling you, when Trick Williams gets here with Mello, forget it.
Yeah.
Just forget it. Mello is destined for other things. I'm pretty sure still that Mello is destined for some pretty good things.
One thing I know for sure, it's going to be a great match.
Oh, it's going to be outstanding. But it's going to be interesting though because Knight is nothing like those two. Okay, as far as style in the ring.
Right.
So it's really going to depend on how they all work with how he works with their style and how they're going to mix and match that. That's going to be it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
You got two similar styles and one completely different. Could be very interesting.
So you don't think a heel turn? I guess I just thought, man, that was a dick move, but you're right though. He's kind of a dick. So
yeah. He's been cocky and arrogant the whole way through. I see him as an anti-hero. That's where that, and it's been said before, and it's true. That's where that Stone Cold comparison comes from, and the way he talks sounds like The Rock. Listen, you're allowed to have influences. It bothers me when people call him a Rock ripoff or he's just a poor man Stone Cold. What he did was he took what impressed him from the people that impressed him. And this is LA Knight. He's fine. Eli Drake. He's fine. He's still himself. He just happens to have the mannerisms of two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That can't be that bad.
Right.
It really can't.
I'm on a personal level. I'm really happy for the guy that he made it to the big time.
I completely agree. Especially after watching him in TNA.
Right.
I loved him. I thought he was the shit. I was like, oh my God, and that's years ago, man.
Right.
He should have been in the WWE a long time before he got here.
I agree. What do we got next here? Another good match.
Wow. Now this one confuses me a bit. You can't always. I don't feel that you can always have somebody lose. And I feel like Owens has lost too much lately. Yet Randy picks up the belt and stares at it before he gives it back to Cody.
Yeah, I caught that.
See, like what does that? The seeds of doubt that this match, by the way, is going to be unbelievable. This is going to be every reason why I love watching two big guys go at it. Everything about this match is going to be why I love wrestling, or the things that I love the most about wrestling are going to be two veterans that are just big dudes that are going to beat the living crap out of each other. It's hard to pick a winner because Kevin is due. He's so damn due at this point for a victory. He needs this victory. I would say it's his character, the way it's been written. He needs this victory. I would think, but there's Randy picking up the belt, saving Cody's ass and staring at it. Now we know Randy is only 2 away from 16, that magic number that
Right.
Flair and Cena hold together, So there's that. So this match to me is impossible to pick. I mean, logically, it should be Randy, at the end of the day. But again, we're doing this to Kevin. What the fuck are we doing with Kevin? Pardon my French, but what are we doing with Kevin? I love Kevin Owens. He's great.
Yeah,
Kevin Owens is still great. He could hold the Intercontinental title, U.S. title tomorrow, and I wouldn't blink twice about it.
No, of course not.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a great matchup. Who do you think? I mean, logically,
logically Randy, but I'm thinking Owens, and only because of the Triple H rhetoric to Randy on Friday night when he said,
"Right,
I'm trying to protect you against Kevin." So,
right.
I took that to heart.
So are you suggesting that Triple H himself, who's probably obviously going to make the trip to Saudi Arabia himself, may intervene in the match?
Oh, no, I don't see that at this point. Do you?
Well, how does Owens beat him cleanly? There's that too. Or does somebody help Owens? Somebody else got a beef with Randy that decides to help Owens that we've forgotten about.
Right.
There's always that. I don't see how Kevin Owens cleanly beats Randy Orton. I do see how Randy Orton cleanly beats Kevin Owens. The RKO can beat anybody. The RKO would have beaten Andre the Giant. You know what I mean? Back in the day.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine a clean pin like of Owens to Orton. Like you said though, I can imagine it the other way around.
Right.
But yeah, I would say Owens somehow. I just don't know how.
Right. Yeah, there's got to be a shock in there somewhere on this card, right?
But I think this match.
Do you think that maybe because Mike has been talking about Cody turning heel, do you think that maybe Cody costs for some reason this match?
I mean,
I don't see it.
It would be a shocker, but
it would be a shocker if Cody all of a sudden interferes on someone's behalf to help them win the match. I mean, who's the bad guy here? I guess Kevin is clearly the bad guy, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
What if he turns and helps Kevin beat Randy? Then where is Cody Rhodes? I don't even know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's somewhere in the middle. I'm confused.
Right.
So no. I mean, logically, Randy should win this. Logically, because if he's Randy Orton. What's he doing holding Cody's belt? Staring at it. Randy's got to win this match, dude. I would tend to think that just the moment that he stopped and he held that belt, and there's a reason why he held it. There is.
Well, you think they give him another title reign?
Yeah, I do. I can see it. Look, the fans still love Randy Orton. Now, some people may not want that, but I think the fans love Randy. Randy is finally over. It happened in the last 3 or 4 years. There was a long time where Randy did not have the respect of the internet community. I've noticed a lot less hate said about Randy as he's become a veteran. It more and more so a veteran. It happened really when Riddle was around with him, believe it or not. People started to figure out, something, Randy's been here a long, long time. He's been here a long, long time. And Randy, grew physically into the perfection that he is today. Right. He didn't always look like this. He always looked great. Don't get me wrong. But some people actually age magnificently. And at this point in his life, Randy Orton really is a huge, huge man.
And he's what? I think he's 44.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks fantastic. It's just his whole presentation.
Looks better than he ever has.
Yeah, the
And
fans
he
get
hasn't
it.
really slowed down one iota.
Yeah, the fans get it. The fans treat him like a legend now. I couldn't be happier because I remember days where I argued on his behalf. I've always liked Randy Orton, but I always liked Roman Reigns. You know, maybe that's why I've always liked Vince McMahon. You know, Vince McMahon saw certain things in certain people and promoted them as such. You know, and I felt it was important during the days that people were hating on Roman, or during the days that people were hating on Orton. Vince wasn't hating on them. Vince was building their resume so that you can look at them now, like fans look at Randy Orton now, and go, you know what? It's been 20 years that this guy's been great. It's no longer that years 1 through 13 we complained about it. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
I do.
it's very interesting how that worked out for Randy.
The only thing I worry about is if Randy loses a match, absolutely, no damage to Randy. If Owens loses, what do you do with Owens?
You're right. I mean, Owens needs the match more.
He really needs the win.
I guess Randy's just cool with it. If Randy does put him over, I'll be surprised, but I won't be like, oh my God, that shouldn't have happened. I'd probably be relieved for Kevin because pressed against the wall, I'm a bigger fan of Kevin Owens than I am Randy Orton. Obviously, I like Randy Orton. I don't even know if he's in my top 10, but I have tons of respect and have always liked him. Kevin Owens, I've been a fan of since Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Owens. Everything about Kevin Owens is, and I remember at first too when I showed Mike Kevin Steen, as he was known, Mr. Wrestling in Ring of Honor, and Mike was right. He looked at me, he was like, "So what's his image? He looks like my mailman," and I was like, "Holy fucking shit, he's so right." You know what I mean?
Right.
But what he didn't know, and everybody got to know as Kevin, grew bigger and honed his craft into complete perfection, gets into the WWE. What he didn't know, Kevin was always great on the mic and just a great personality. Kevin has a great personality. You can look like the everyday guy next door, but if you have a great personality, you leave a higher impression.
You can connect.
Yeah, you can connect, and that's the key word, Benny. You nailed it. Connect, because Kevin, when he was Kevin Steen, he connected to me.
Yeah.
So as Kevin Owens, and I'll never forget how he first came out. Didn't he come out? His debut as the NXT champion. He debuted on WWE with Cena because it's like, my name is, Kevin Owens, and I'm here to, challenge you. And Kevin Owens is great, man. He's great. I mean, you just made the list. You just made the list. Wait, why is my name on this list?
Yep.
Bam. I mean, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. That Kevin Owens, Jesus, what a career!
Everything he does like phenomenally well.
What a career, and he's been world champion too. So he's got that going for him too.
I think he needs this win.
Yeah, let's give it. Come on, give it to Kevin. But Randy, don't lose any face. Don't lose any face. That was weird though. He held on to the belt. That was very weird.
Right.
Go on.
All right.
What do we got here?
Got the old bloodline against the new bloodline.
God, I can't stand the new bloodline. How do you feel about the new bloodline? Boo. I mean, I think they're doing a great job. I ain't saying that, but just boo.
Is Jacob Fatu more over than Solo Sikoa,
though? You know what? I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, how far ahead Fatu's quick impact had already diminished Sikoa's aura as the tribal chief. But I think that he's made up for it in the last few weeks. Solo Sikoa has had a couple of great weeks of mic work. He really has. He's done a great job. He's selling this, and he's doing a really good job of doing it. I can't stand this bloodline. I hate their guts. However, what do you see that's wrong numerically about this matchup? I see 4 people.
I see 4 versus 3.
Right.
Something's missing.
Now, let me ask you a question. Who's a hero to the Saudi Arabians that's on the WWE roster? And it may be a little tricky. It may not. Who's a hero?
You mean Sami Zayn?
Oh, look at you. Very logical there, Batman. Nice. Yep. Yeah. So do you think this is where we all get Uzi once again?
I would, yes. I mean, I think.
Are you going to deny Saudi Arabia their hero? I mean,
The little the tryst with Solo was a swerve. So yeah, I see that happening.
The place will explode. You realize that?
But I'm kind of thinking that the new bloodline wins.
Well, how are you going to have Sami? Oh, you're going to have them somehow win and start doing a beatdown, and here comes Sami to save the day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That feels a little Hulk Hogan-like. I was thinking that one of the four who's not in the match isn't it supposed to be 3-on-3?
It's 3-on-3, yeah.
Right. One of the four that isn't in the match is going to constantly be interfering.
Well, yeah,
right?
That's Fatu. Fatu's
so
the
I would
fourth
tend to think that Sami would come out and nullify that situation so Roman can hit a spear and everybody is happy. That's what I think, because I think the Usos have been pinned enough lately. All right, and I don't want Jimmy getting pinned. Jimmy just got back. Everybody just got back. I don't want anybody getting pinned here. No one is to be pinned on the fucking bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? The original.
Right. Well,
bloodline.
Roman certainly won't get pinned.
Yeah. No. The original bloodline. No one is to be pinned. Absolutely fucking not. They're beating these guys. And Sammy's got to come out and help them beat these guys. The end. All right. Sometimes you got to give the people what they want. That's what they're going to want. And you know what? That's what I want. Because I want the greatest version of the bloodline ever. And I want them back right now. I don't want to wait.
Any chance of the return of the wise man?
Oh, absolutely. I would hope so. But they might be saving that for last. Because Roman has to ascend. Roman needs him to fully ascend. That's all part of the deal. Heyman was to him what bacon was to eggs. You understand?
They have to leave enough in doubt, because I would almost be willing to bet money that this is also going to be happening at Survivor Series.
Right. And then there's the unknown, though. The big, big, big unknown. If Paul Heyman returns with Brock Lesnar, there is no negotiating with the tribal chief. You are not my wise. You cannot be my wise man and have Brock Lesnar as your client. So you got that problem, too.
Right.
So who knows, man?
Yeah.
I would tend to think Sami Zayn's going to come out there and nullify this situation.
Sami Zayn will definitely be there, yes.
I would think so. And then I think Roman's hitting somebody with the spear, So I don't think the Usos should be getting pinned.
No, like you said, Jimmy just came back. You can't have him taking a pin. Jay just lost the IC title.
He ain't taking no pin.
That's enough for him. And Roman's not getting pinned for sure.
Roman ain't getting pinned.
No.
Nope. I think Sammy's going to come out there and nullify shit.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That would be a great feel-good moment. I'm ready for it. I don't know if you are, but I am. I mean, I know it's moving.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
PLA.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter what they do, we're going to like it, because it's going to, and the questions continue.
It's not. I mean, it's not going to be resolved. It's to be continued, no matter what.
Absolutely. Great storyline.
All right, here we go. Last but not least.
Oh, boy. Well, I know who I want to win for the great sport, this beautiful sport we call professional wrestling. So, Cody, what do you want to talk about?
You're right.
I want Gunther.
With all my heart.
But I don't see it.
You don't really?
Oh, man.
I
really? Are they gonna do that? Cody Rhodes is gonna be pinned by Gunther.
I mean, who can afford the loss more, I guess, is my question. I would say Cody can afford it.
To Gunther.
I mean,
does Randy cost him the match?
Again, there's going to be some outside interference.
He's got to deal with Kaiser too, right?
Right.
Kaiser's obviously going to interfere. Someone's going to have to balance that. Does Randy come on after Kevin? You know what I'm saying with all of this?
But now Gunther won the King of the Ring, though, right? He won that.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
He's
the world champion.
Against King of the Ring. Against
Who I forgot.
I believe it was Randy.
Right. So I mean, you guys got the King of the Ring. He's got the world title. Does he get this too? Or maybe kind of balances out if Cody has it.
I want Gunther to have it. Let's go with Gunther.
Yeah.
Does he really pin him though? I mean, I don't know. I feel like the only person who should be pinning Cody Rhodes to the mat is Roman.
Well, remember the good old days when you could lose by a count out,
right?
Or you could lose by. I mean, how many times did Bruno lose because the referee came?
Are they gonna? Have they definitively said that they're not gonna have countouts or DQs?
No, I haven't heard anything like that.
So there could be a count out.
Right. Well, I mean,
okay.
Bruno
that changes a lot. That changes a lot. I could see Gunther easily winning by count out.
Well, how about the old the old blood stoppage? I mean, how many matches,
God.
how many main events at the Garden got stopped and Bruno lost
Benny, refresh me. You're the historian. What was the Dusty finish? Wasn't that the blood stoppage? What was the Dusty finish?
I mean, I'm thinking back to Luger Flair when Luger had Flair in the torture rack.
Right.
And that's when the referee decided that Luger was bleeding too badly. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No thanks. So are we giving this to Gunther? What are we doing here?
Yeah. I'm going.
Wow, we're nuts.
I think it's Ludwig Kaiser interference.
I don't know if that's big enough. We got to have more than that. I still feel like Randy should.
Do you think somebody's going to interfere on Cody's side to cost him?
Well, I can't get Randy out of my mind right now for some reason. Randy has done some strange things recently, and Randy has history with Gunther, so I don't know.
Maybe does Randy lose the match to Owens and get pissed off and then screw Cody over? I mean, who knows?
It's possible. That's what I'm thinking.
And then you got Randy Cody,
right?
And that would fit into your whole thing about him looking at the belt,
right? It's just strange that Randy stopped and held that belt for a moment.
They don't do anything for nothing.
No, not normally. That's something down the road. Like for example, I felt this way for a long time, but down the road, Sheamus is finally going to win that Intercontinental title. It's probably minor to a lot of people, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they've been booking him a lot better lately. He beat Ludwig, and he looked very good doing it.
Right, Sheamus is great. I like Sheamus.
Love Sheamus.
I've always liked him.
Yeah,
he's fine with me.
He is the epitome to me of a professional wrestler.
Dude, I know I'm in the minority, but I'm sorry. When he beat Daniel Bryan in 18 seconds, I laughed my ass off.
Right.
I really did. I was like, that's believable. Because it was. I mean, in real life it is. Walk into a bar, there's Daniel Bryan. Hey, I'm sure we all know Daniel Bryan's a tough guy. You know what I mean? But you walk into a bar, there's Daniel Bryan, there's Sheamus. What do you think's going to happen? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. It was pretty funny. Well.
It's a pretty decent card, though.
No, it is. It's good. I hate that it's not for the titles, though, bro. It's for this Crown Jewel championship. Why don't we get to the core of that real quick, Benny? Like, do you give a shit about that championship?
Well, what happens with it? I mean,
what is it?
I think whoever wins it, like say Gunther wins it, he totes it out for a couple of weeks, and then you don't see it again until the next time they wrestle in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. It's like, who cares?
He's not going to bring it out every week. I mean, I don't think we're beholden to the Saudis that much that, we got that Gunther's got to tote it out for the next 6 months.
No. Great matchups, but I wish they would for the titles themselves.
Yeah. I really like what you said about Randy, though. I really think, him looking at that belt means, he thinks he's got at least one more left in him, and which I would love to see. And, maybe he gets pissed off with the only thing I wonder about though is what would make him mad enough at Cody to interfere in the match.
Yeah, it's unknown, Plus, by the way, him and Triple H, their exchange, was was really awesome.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, Randy Orton's in a class by himself. I mean, he's like one of the greatest ever.
Does Triple H get involved physically?
That might be like maybe, yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about Triple H on screen right now. You know, it's weird in the media. He's under heavy scrutiny lately. You know, Paul Levesque.
Right.
But there he is on camera more than he's back. It's just like,
he's interjecting himself in these storylines. So maybe you got a point there. Maybe he would. At first I thought, no way. But maybe, this guy's still in really good shape. I mean, he can't do too much because he had that heart thing, but he's not. I think he's 55.
Right.
But the guy is still, he's
great. There can never be another Mr. McMahon, but sometimes I wish that Paul would think about that and get involved from time to time physically. Whatever he can handle. But like be a heel. Be that prick in the front office that runs everything. Be that asshole. Because Triple H is the definition of being an asshole, and I say that lovingly because I love Triple H. I think he's great.
Oh, yeah.
So
if anybody could do that, it would absolutely be him.
Yeah, I would love to see that. So many questions, Benny. So many questions.
Yeah, that's why we love it, right?
Well, what time do I have to get up to see this? Which I'm sure I won't. What time does this thing start?
I think 2:30 in the morning. It's like back in the day on ESPN in 1981. You got up at 2:30 in the morning because you couldn't sleep. And what did you see? Australian rules football.
Is that what I used to see?
Yeah, I think that and underwater farting. I mean, yeah.
On a Halloween topic there, what I did used to see at 2:30 in the morning were all the horror movies. Did you ever see the movie from the 70s, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things?
No, I did not.
Dude, that's the weirdest movie because it seems like it's dark comedy almost, and then the end is really scary.
Now, one movie I did see in the movie theater that I forgot about was Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, you saw that in the theater?
Oh, yeah.
What a classic that is. I love that movie.
Chili Billy Cardell, from the wrestling announcer.
Right. What a bummer of an ending, by the way. When they shoot the poor black fella in the head, you assholes.
Yeah.
That guy went through everything. He was a good guy, too. It was like, in a way that foreshadowed the Halloween thing where, it doesn't end happy. It's like, what the hell? That horror movie was way ahead of its time, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I agree.
And we wouldn't have Walking Dead. I was a fan of that show for a while. I jumped off eventually, but I watched for many seasons The Walking Dead. The zombie movies were fantastic. You could thank Romero. Thank Romero for that.
Now you got me curious enough. Maybe this weekend I might watch one or two.
Yeah, I was really surprised that you didn't know too many.
No.
I was like, wow, Benny's not a horror aficionado. Why did I take you for one?
No, I'm believe it or not, I am a chick flick guy.
A chick flick
guy?
I
have 3 sons, each of whom torture me endlessly because I've watched 13 going on 30, probably 15 times. So
that's a chick flick. Could you name me the greatest chick flick of all time? I need to understand chick flick.
Yeah, chick flicks would be like 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler.
Okay, never saw it.
You got Pretty Woman, the ultimate chick flick.
Oh God, I think I tried to see it, but I couldn't bear it.
You got Sweet Home Alabama.
No, I never saw it.
You got It Could Happen to You with Nicolas Cage. That's a great movie. I love that movie.
I never saw that.
Nicolas Cage
is an interesting dude. He sat 2 rows behind me at a Yankee game years ago, and people were bothering him. And I remember turning around and looking at him like he gave me the look like, oh my God, I wish these people would leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, right.
Like I felt sorry for him. I looked at him like, don't worry, bro, I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah,
everybody's bothering him.
No, that's a great movie. That's probably my favorite movie. It Could Happen, and I don't know if that's even a chick flick. It kind of is, but he's a cop, and he goes to a diner, doesn't have a tip, says to the waitress, you can have half of my lottery ticket, which wins $6 million. But he's married to Rosie Perez, who is, I would never say the C word on the air, but she was the in
Okay.
the Webster's picture dictionary. Under that word would be a picture of Rosie Perez.
All right, very good, very good.
And they wound up falling in love and living. I mean, what a great movie.
Huh?
But yeah,
chick flicks. So you're a sap. I mean, like Love Story with Ali McGraw. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yep, seen that. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
The Way We Were. Does that make you cry?
No, that one I haven't seen.
You've never seen The Way We Were? From Here to Eternity? You're talking about chick flicks.
I do not like Barbara Streisand.
What's wrong with you? Those are chick flicks. At least I think they are.
Right.
Wow. I don't know. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
The one with Jimmy Fallon, I think it's called Fever Pitch. Him and Drew Barrymore. Another good chick flick.
Never saw it.
Yep.
Wow. They've all eluded me somehow, Benny.
Somehow, I imagine they still will.
Yeah. I like Animal House. You like Animal House?
My ex-wife Judy, that was our first date. We went to go see Animal House at the Farmingdale movie theater.
What a great movie, Animal House.
Oh God, Belushi is so brilliant. Like
facially, it's not what he says. I mean, what he says is funny.
He doesn't have to say anything. Just like that scene in the cafeteria.
Oh my God, when they're playing "Don't Know Much About History."
Yes.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he's walking through the food line, puts a sandwich in his pocket. Sucks the Jello.
It's when he looks around and raises the eyebrow.
Yes.
Way before The Rock, by the way. Looks around, raises the eyebrow, and devours the bowl of Jello. You remember that?
Yes.
He's like, he was unbelievable. Try to see if you can guess what I am now.
Right.
I'm a Zed. Get it? Oh, he was great. Belushi was great. The whole film was great.
A very young Kevin Bacon in that movie.
That was a great cast. They were perfect. They
really were. God. Again, there's a movie that came out, in the 78, maybe 46 years ago.
78, yep, 78.
Still makes me crack up.
Yeah, it's forever classic, like Spaceballs. Yeah. Why didn't anybody ever tell me my ass was this big? When he goes through the transporter and he's backwards, like his you can see his face, but his ass is in front. So he's got a view of his front. His back and his front. If you
I'm trying to think of it. What was the guy? Was his name Stork? The guy in
Stork, I think, wrote the whole damn thing.
Stork and Stork actually wrote
Animal House. Yeah, Stork was a genius.
His last name is Kinney. I can't think of his first name.
Bro, he died young, I think.
He died. He died during the filming at Caddyshack. Not on site. He was remote somewhere, but yeah. Guy was a comedic genius.
Well, he's the one who delivers the classic line in Animal House. Well, what the hell are we supposed to do, you morons?
Morons, yeah.
It was just freaking great. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Germans? Leave him alone.
I love when Stork's marching and they're marching and then all of a sudden he pushes the guy out of the way. And he takes the baton and he starts leading him down the alley.
Right down the alley, straight into the and they all walk right into the level of stupidity is great.
Right.
Is great in that movie.
Oh, epic. They don't make them like that anymore.
No,
well,
they don't.
We're right at an hour and a half. I guess we better close up shop here.
Yes, sir.
Unless we're gonna bill Mike.
It's been fun.
Oh, absolutely. Let me before we go, I got to know here.
I've got to know.
That's the follow-up line to when Clint Eastwood says, "I don't know if I fired 6." The question is, do you feel lucky? And the guy on the guy goes, "I got to know."
I got to know.
All right.
Oops.
I can't. Where's the score here?
Are you looking for the Jets?
Yes, sir.
Oh God, why?
Yeah, well, it was 7-0 at halftime. We'll see. I guess Michael let us know, but. Well, Jimmy, why don't you take us home one more time?
You've been watching once again The Player and the Pharaoh. And until next week when I go to New York. We haven't talked about that, Benny, but I'm going to New York. Let me get that in fast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do that.
Yeah, well, I'll be there next week, and we got one guest after another. God, Mike, help me out. Who's who for what's... See, this is where I need Mike, because there's all sorts of stuff going on. There is. I mean, I know Friday we're doing a drinking game with the Sandman and Todd Gordon and Francine, but and Saturday's the big event. But it's going to be a blur, and I'm going to Iron Maiden too. So I'll see you next week in the studio. You know,
drinking game.
Yeah, we're gonna. Dude, I'm actually very worried about that.
Oh boy,
I got to tell. Well, first of all, Sandman is legendary, right? I mean, and he's a cool guy too. So, but he can drink. I know he can handle his shit. Francine, I would assume, you know, she's hung with the boys enough that I probably wouldn't want to have a drinking contest with Francine. You know, she's a pretty tough lady. And Todd, well, if Todd is God, that means he can consume whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too smashed because the next day I got the big event with Mike, and then I got Maiden with Bart out in Jersey, Iron Maiden. So,
all right, you got a full weekend.
Yeah, I really do. I hate flying, by the way, but you know,
you and me both. You're preaching to the choir.
These are things you got to do.
Yep.
So anyway, you've been watching Player in the Pharaoh, and until next week when I return to the Empire State with Monty in the Pharaoh, later.
Later.